Hello everybody, welcome back. This is part 2 of the VOISS cam swap. In this video it will just be me stripping down the engine, getting it out of the car and putting it up on the engine stand and stuff, so it'll mostly be time-lapse stuff, so grab yourself a beer or a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you like and sit and enjoy. There is a couple of things that I would like to go over. I'll talk about things later on in the video, what I've been up to, but there's one or two things that I missed out, so I'm filming this intro a little later. So yeah, your valve train. When you take that stuff out of the engine, I would suggest laying it down in such a manner as it come out of the car. It doesn't really matter for me because I'm replacing the lifters and stuff anyway, but I've laid out the rockers as they've come out of the engine. So my lifters I've got sitting as they've come out, and then the lifters are whatever because they're getting replaced. And same with the push rods. I don't think it really matters, but it's a safety thing, I guess. I don't know if they wear in and they need to be the set geometry for that cylinder or valve or whatever, which I would presume that they do, because I was taught when you're stripping engines to lay everything out as they come out, because everything's all sized correctly. But with the LSs, I don't know if that's the case or not, so just a heads up or something to think about. The other thing is, if you guys are putting in ARP head studs, if you're changing the cam, there are two different sets of head studs that you can buy for an LS. There's ones that you can buy for an early LS engines, and they come with three different sizes of studs. They're for an LS1 and an LQ9, I think. And the later model LS, they've got two different size head studs in the packet. I now know this because I bought the wrong ones. I bought the early LS ones, and it actually states on the Malex Motorsport website that you can buy two different types, but I never knew if mine was an early LS or a late model LS. So because mine is the early LS and the VYS's, VYSSS, I just figured that was what they were, or what the ARP head studs were, because you get a high output version of this engine, and I think it's 2004 onwards in the VYSS, so that's why I thought they were the early model ones, but I'm wrong. So anybody buying head studs for a 2003 VYSS with a LS1 in it, you've got late model head studs. So just to make you aware of that. But yeah, everything came apart in the engine really well. The LSs are actually really easy engines to work on. I'm quite surprised and quite happy about it actually, because like European engines, like 4 cylinders with timing belts that come up to the head and do the camshafts, etc. on top of overhead valve engines, they do take a little bit more thinking and effort to set them up, like set up the timing before you take the timing belt off. So I'm pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to work on these LS engines. There's not really much to them. 2 valves per cylinder, a camshaft in the middle of the block and push rods. All I done was make sure that the rockers were never really had much tension on them before I took the rockers out. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the video and stick around till the end, because that really helps me out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hi folks, how are you doing? Aldo back here with the VYSS doing the cam swap. So I tried taking a video of me removing the engine, but my phone ran out of storage, obviously. So it's been a couple of weeks since I uploaded my first video, and it's not really gone to plan. I've not really had the time. I've been away camping and family stuff, you know. Being married with kids has got its advantages and disadvantages, as I'm sure you all know. So tonight we got the engine out. That was a bit harder than what I expected of the engine removal operation. However, the crane never really helped out so much. It was I got a loan of it from a work friend, so it just got to a point that was a bit high, but it got quite high, but it never got high enough, and I needed it to be that little bit extra. So the engine's out. I've learned a few things from removing this LS, and I'll need to try and come up with a better option for putting the engine back in. Now, when I took the engine out, I left the gearbox on, as you can see, but this firewall cover that runs along the back here, this piece that I'm pointing to here, that bit there, the crane hook was fouling on the centre of it here, so it was making it quite difficult to actually get it off. Also, as you can see, there is no room in an VYSS engine bay, so I had to leave the exhaust manifolds in place, or the extractors as you call them here in Australia. So they were a bit of a pest. Everything else was pretty self-explanatory. There was some wire in the back of the engine that I had to take off when the engine was forward, but that's okay. That's just part of it when you don't have any access behind the inlet manifold and the firewall. So yeah, the engine's out, so over the next couple of days I will remove the gearbox and get it up in the engine stand, and then I can really take a good look at the engine. I'll need to obviously take the flywheel off and the clutch assembly, and then start the strip down, which it's taken me a wee while to get to this point obviously, but having a little break in between kind of gets you to a certain point where you feel like you're had a bit of a rest. And so yeah, I started this at I started pulling the engine out about 4:45ish. It's now just turned 6, so an hour isn't too bad to pull out this engine. So obviously had all the wiring and stuff off it beforehand, but yeah, so yeah, that's all I've got for the minute. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Okay, so we are currently at a stage where the heads are off, the sump is off. I'm not really wanting to go any further just yet, because I need to get a harmonic balancer puller so I can take the timing cover off and time it up. But everything else is off. I've got everything all laid out. I'm not really worrying about the situation of where all the rockers and stuff are, and they're not needing to go back in because I've got brand new LS7 ones to go in. The heads I'm going to need to get sent away to get skimmed, and whilst they're there I might get them to fit my Crow dual valve spring setup with new valve stem oil seals. However, I might do that myself because I want to learn, and I also need to re-lap the valves. So I need to lap the valves into the head. So I might do that all first. I'm not too sure what is the best way of doing this, so I'm just kind of winging it. But currently we're going not bad, which means we're going not too bad. Now I wasn't going to take the pistons out or the crank, but I've decided to just do a full engine rebuild on the thing. So I'll need to see about getting a set of crank bearings. I'll get a set of conrod bearings as well. I'll need to get a new camshaft bearing set up, but I had to take the cam out. I need to take the cam out first just to determine what cam bearings I need. There's a thing. I need to see if any of the bolts are different, if it's got smaller bolts, because if it does, which is the ones there I think, because the ARP head studs, they come in ones with a different size or something, which I'm going to need to look at as well. When the new camshaft goes in, I've got a Pro, I can't remember the brand, but it's a push rod length tool, so I can measure them up and make sure the geometry is right, and then I can order the right size push rods. But this all needs to be done when it's going back together. So as you can see, the engine is quite disgusting, so the block's needing a good clean up and a power wash, and then I'll clean the pistons and the bores, and I'll maybe put a new set of piston rings in her as well. So this build's going to take a wee bit longer, but look, that's just part of it. I'm just going to carry on with these parts. So this is still part 2, with the strip down and the engine removal and all that stuff. So, but yeah, these engines are pretty straightforward. You don't need to time it up really to take the head off. You just kind of set it to where the rockers are loose, and then pull the rockers out and the push rods out, and then it all kind of is self-explanatory. It just kind of pulls out, which is really great. I'm enjoying working on this engine. So I'll borrow some measuring tools from work, so that I can measure up the journals and the bearing sizes and stuff. But yeah, it's going really well so far, which I'm really happy about. I've not really came into any problems, or well, only other than the harmonic balancer puller. I need to get that off. So I'll need to get one of them ordered. Through it's ProFlow. ProFlow make one. It's a billet one. So that might be a wee bit stronger than the iron ones. But I guess I'll find out when I use it. But yeah, we're going well. The next step, I need to find a little bit more room, because as you can see, I've got my little parts storage area here. I've got a little trolley coming from Amazon, so I can set up my tools, and I've got an area to set up my pistons, and I can put my crank on there as well, and the cam. I'm not going to be reusing the cam, but it'll be nice to set everything out. But yeah, we shall keep going, and I will report back pretty soon. Thank you.